Folks, are you having a good time tonight?
Yeah!
Great talent on the stage, right? And Joe Jewell there is a stage manager doing double duty and triple duty, doing a great job. Grisham McMillan here, willing to play anytime someone needs a bass. Let's have a good hand to them. The sound person up in the sound booth there. All the people working in the background for the Ozark Folk Center to make these things come together and make it an enjoyable evening for us. And well, I appreciate all the hard work that they do. I'd like to give you just a little more information about Jimmy Driftwood now. And I mentioned earlier that Jimmy had helped to establish the Ozark Folk Center to help preserve the Ozark mountain culture. And the Folk Center later became part of the Arkansas State Park system. This fine facility here, all of the craft grounds and all the things that we enjoy today. He was very helpful in getting right people together to talk about that and get funding and so forth. So we're very appreciative of that. During his later life, Jimmy enjoyed performing free concerts for high school and college students. He died of a heart attack on July 12, 1998 in Fayetteville, Arkansas at age 91. For all of the aforementioned contributions, we owe a great debt of appreciation to James Corbett Morris, or Jimmy Driftwood. So Jimmy did a lot for us. All right. We have another act here that's going to entertain you, and we're glad to have them here. And this is Charlie White and his son Colt and Grisham McMillan. Make them welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Grisham, we could bring you a cup of coffee or something since they don't give you no breaks. It's cold and raining out. The rain part's okay, but not too crazy about the cold weather. Of course, it ain't 110 degrees either. So. All right, so you're probably wondering what we're doing to stand around up here waiting to get started. So are we, actually. I first heard this song on a Norman Blake record, so we're going to do a song called Jordan and My Hard Road to Travel. I'm gonna sing you a brand new song. It's all the truth for certain. We can get by, we can get high on this side of Jordan. One off the Jordan, roll up your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel. One off your overcoat, roll up your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel, I believe. Well, the public schools and the public roads race quiet and alarm. Get a country man educated just a little and he ain't gonna work on the farm. So roll up your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel. Roll up your overcoat, roll off your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel, I believe. I don't know, but I believe I'm right. The price of gas has ruined the country. Let's go back to the horse and buggy, and maybe we can save a little money. Pull off the sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel. Pull off the coat, pull up the sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel. I'll be there. Nights and it rains 40 days in the Ozark Mountains. Gonna rain horses and lop-eared mules before we get across the Jordan. So roll up your coat, pull up your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel. Pull up your overcoat, pull off your sleeves, Jordan in my hard road to travel, I believe. Jimmy Driftwood's songs are not like, it's good if you can get a good deep breath before you start. So you know what I'm talking about. All right, you got this. This is E minor. It's a painstaking amount of hours that we put into this one. We're going to try it anyway. One night as I lay on my pillow, moonlight as bright as the dawn, I saw a man come walking. He had a long chain on. I heard his chains clanking. They made such a mournful sound. Welded around his body, dragging along the ground. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. He came and he stood by my window. He looked at me and he said, I am so tired and hungry. Give me just a bite of your bread. He did not look like a robber. He did not look like a thief. His face was soft as the moonlight, and his voice full of song and grief. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. I went into my kitchen, fetched him a bowl of meat, drinking a pan of cold biscuits. That's what I gave him to eat. Though he was tired and hungry, bright light came over his face. Bowed his head in the moonlight, said the most beautiful grace. He had a long train on. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. So I got me my hammer and chisel, offered to set that man free. He shook his head and said softly, I guess we just let it be. When he finished his supper, he thanked me again and again. It's been years since I've seen him, still hear him dragging that chain. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. He had a long chain on. Bad because, you know, when I said I was available for Saturday night the 6th, I didn't read the fine print. So I didn't realize it was a Jimmy Driftwood tribute until a few days ago. So we kind of scrambled around and tried to figure out some songs that we could play, and so we hope you enjoy these. Down the road, there's the Jimmy Driftwood Barn. I know most of you are probably familiar with that. I just saw a picture of it on the internet when I was looking through these songs. And about 15 years ago, at this time of year, I came to Mountain View for the first time with a fella and played there. And that was the first night my wife and I went on a date. She came there. So it holds a special place for me. This next song is one of his most popular songs. You all know it, I'm sure. It's been covered by countless artists. Johnny Cash, my personal favorite probably is Doc Watson. Ready, Gresham? 1, 2, 3. Along about 1825, I left Tennessee very much alive. Never would have made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on a Tennessee stud. Well, I had a little trouble with the sweetheart's ball, and one of the brothers was a bad outlaw. Sent her a message from Uncle Bud, and he carried it to her on the Tennessee stud. Now the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, but there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. One day I went riding in a beautiful land, and I ran smack into an Indian band. Jumped their nags with a whoop and a yell, and I rode away like a man out of will. Circled at the camp for a time or two, and I showed him what a Tennessee horse could do. Them redskin boys never got my blood, 'cause I was riding on a Tennessee stud. Now the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun in his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, but there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. When we drifted on down into no man's land, across the river on the Rio Grande, I raised my horse with a Spanish foal till I got me a skin full of silver and gold. Now me and the gambler, we couldn't agree on the guiding fight over Tennessee. But your doc guns and it fell with a thud, and I drove away on the Tennessee stud. Now the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun in his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, but there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Well, I got just as lonesome as a man can be, in the little sweetheart in Tennessee. And the Tennessee stud whose eyes turned blue, 'cause he was a dreamer of a sweetheart too. A pretty little baby on a cabin floor, and a little horse coat on the door. And I love the girl with the auburn hair, and the Tennessee stud loves the Tennessee band. Now the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun in his eyes were green. Well, he had the nerve and he had the blood, but there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Well, he had the nerve and he had the blood, but there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. This next song is going to be the official waltz, I guess, for the evening, or that's the word anyway. This is in E. Yep. You want me to move on there? Or do you want me to sit? Y'all are very patient. What a nice bunch of folks. You know, some of you heard me tell this story before about forgetting the words. And you know, it runs in my family. It's not just me. I remember my cousin and I sitting around when we were young, and my granddad telling this story. He said, you know this story. It's probably not even funny, but a horse walked into a bar and said, "I'm looking for the man who shot my paw." I guess it was a dog. Not a horse. Dog walked into a bar. That's what it was. See, I told you. You thought I was making this whole thing up. So a dog walked into a bar and says, "I'm looking for the man who shot my paw." And then, of course, he laughed, and we laughed like crazy. Didn't know why, but we laughed. So my cousin's telling the story the next day to a couple other guys, friends of ours, and I hear him say, "So this dog walked into a bar and said, 'I'm looking for the guy that shot my dad.'" And we still laugh like crazy. Anyhow, yeah. All right, so this is another lovely song. You're welcome back there. That was a special request. In 3/4 time. Foot of yonder mountain there runs a clear stream. At the foot of yonder mountain there lives a fair queen. She's handsome, she's proper, and her ways are complete. And I ask no better pastime than to kneel at her feet. Pretty Mary, I give all I own to make pretty Mary and do that alone.
Father don't like me and I understand. He's promised Lord Randall her lily white hand. Lord Randall has silver, Lord Randall has gold, but she'd rather shiver with me in the cold.
Pretty Mary, I give all I own. Be pretty Mary in the moonlight alone. They locked her in a strong room where I've never been, and only Lord Randall is allowed to go in. I wish I was an eagle, like an eagle I'd fly over the mountains and oceans so wide. Pretty Mary, I'd give all I own just to be with pretty Mary in the moonlight alone. I'd take her to a cabin on a mountain top a while, care for pretty Mary like she was my child. I'd fight the Lord Randall if he ever came back. for the love of Pretty Mary, gladly would die. Pretty Mary, I'd give all I own just to be with Pretty Mary in the moonlight alone. Pretty Mary, I'd give all I own just to be with Pretty Mary in the moonlight alone. Man, it drives me bad. It's like you just about want to, walk away from them or something. But I'm up here. I got this microphone. It's raining out, so I know y'all ain't running out the door. So I'm going to gush on this young fella right here. A lot of you know him. And he just does a swell job, and he's a joy to be around. And, really makes us, his mom and I, proud. And we're going to split up this song here because we think we can do it together, and it's kind of a song that probably a lot of people know. We'll do it in C. Ready? You thought I was joking about the words, messing up the words. He sings one of the words, or one of the verses to the songs now, because I keep saying, in Worried Man Blues, I kept saying, it's supposed to say, I woke up, there were shackles on my feet, and for whatever unknown reason, I kept saying there were freckles on my feet. And he would look over at me like, man, you're an embarrassment. So anyway, I need a little instruction from time to time. Well, I had a cow that slobbered bad down in the Arkansas. I took her to my great-granddad down in the Arkansas. Asked him what to do for it down in the Arkansas. And he said, son, just teach him to spit down in the Arkansas. Down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas. Well, the prettiest girl I ever saw was down in the Arkansas. I'll do this next one too then. When I was just a little lad down in the Arkansas, my mom got married to my dad down in the Arkansas. My grandpa got bad because of a while down in the Arkansas. And grandma said, oh, it's just the style down in the Arkansas. Down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas. Well, the prettiest girl I ever saw was down in the Arkansas. Big one.
I loved a gal, her name was Lil, down in the Arkansas. I hugged that girl all over the hill down in the Arkansas. Dog got mad and called me son down in the Arkansas.
Well, down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas. And the prettiest girl I ever saw was down in the Arkansas. It was down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas, down in the Arkansas. And the prettiest girl I ever saw was down in the Arkansas. Yeah, the prettiest girl I ever saw was down in the Arkansas. Left this in the car for a while, and that time of year, this thing was made like a tin can, so when I put my hands on it, they almost stuck to it. You good? Yeah? Not gonna Many artists have covered Jimmy Driftwood songs. And this, there's a guitar player out in California, I guess, named Ry Cooter that I listened to a long time ago. And this is the first place, that's the first place I ever heard this song. Sing you a true song of Billy the Kid. I sing you the record, the days that he lived way out in New Mexico, long time ago, when a man's only friend was his own 44. Now Billy the Kid was a very young lad. In old Silver City, we went to the band, way out west, with a gun in his hand. At the age of 12 years, Billy killed his first They're Mexican maidens, play guitars and sing songs about Billy, the boy bandit king. Now yeah, his young manhood had reached its sad end. He'd have not shown his pistol for 21 men. It was on that same night before Billy died. He said to his friends, I'm not satisfied. 21 men that I put bullets through. And Sheriff, that year it's gonna make 22. Now this is how Billy the Kid met his fate. The bright moon was shining and the hour was late. Shot down by bad deer, Silver City's best friend, and the poor outlaw's life had reached its end. Many men, face fine and fair, starts out life with a chance to be square. Just like poor Billy, he wanders astray and loses his life in the very same way. Thank you kindly, folks. We sure have enjoyed being here with you this evening and having to brave the kind of inclement weather. We got one more song for you that many of you will recognize, everybody probably. Knocked me down with his right hand. finest bum in town. Fill my champagne hand in town, march your love is on. Get out of the way, your old show car, no track of wine. Get out of the way, your old show car, he's no friend of mine. To hear him brag, like all good little Redwood now, he's a long standing way. Get out the way, hold your car, he's no jug of wine. Get out the way, hold your car, he's no friend of mine. Joe Clark comes to my door, he treats me like a pup. Runs my bird down to the floor and brings my whiskey up. Get out of the way for old Joe Clark, I've got jug of wine. Get out of the way for old Joe Clark, he's no friend of mine. He puts his banjo in my hand, tells me what to play. Dances with my pretty gal until the break of day. Hold your car, he's no friend of mine. Get out the way, hold your car, I got jug of wine. Get out the way, hold your car, he's no friend of mine. That's all. Thanks so much, man.
Charlie White, thank you very much, folks. I'd like to remind you that next weekend we have Ozark Traders Rendezvous, where you can come out and learn all about bead making and leather work, black powder rifle making, wood carving, knife making, and all sorts of good things. So put that on your calendar and come back out next weekend. That brings us to the conclusion of our show, and we thank you for coming out and helping us to pay tribute to Jimmy Driftwood. As always, we love you, and good night.
Good night.